forward. Excellent. So just allowing yourself to settle in. We have begun over the last couple of months to start this practice in a seated position, and I really like it. I think it's really lovely, particularly now. I know people are doing the recordings at different times, but when you're coming to this kind of a practice in the evening, quite often we can, be quite hunched. We might have held energy in different places during the day. So I really like this kind of seated breath practice to begin before we move into, obviously I wouldn't deny you the opportunity to have that gorgeous practice where you're completely laid out. But I just think the opportunity to move through the joints a little bit and just open up a little bit before we enter into that laying out practice is just gorgeous. So the invitation is to take a seat. So if that's cross-legged on your mat, that's perfect. And just allowing yourself to use any props, any blankets or blocks or whatever is going to give you the most comfortable position. You can choose to sit in an actual seat if you prefer that. It's really about finding what works best for you. Basically, all we want is to make sure that pelvis is settling. So you might do a little kind of forward and backward tilting of your pelvis so you can kind of really feel into that movement in the pelvis and then come to that balanced place. And you can really then feel the difference when you are actually evenly supported front and back through that pelvis. So just experimenting with your own body to see how you can get there most comfortably. Allowing your shoulders to soften down while keeping those shoulders soft, allowing your spine to lengthen. Just allowing the hands to gently rest wherever they do. If it's comfortable, to gently close down your eyes. And just begin to track your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Not trying to change it just yet. There's plenty of time for that. Just simply beginning to observe. With each round of breath, allowing yourself to settle in a little deeper into your seat. Allowing the day that went before to melt away. Knowing there's plenty of time for the rest of the evening to come. And we're just taking this time for ourselves. What a gorgeous gift. If it feels comfortable in your practice, you may choose to deepen your breath. And from your next round of breath, as you inhale through the nose, tracing your breath all the way down through your body, allowing your belly to expand, creating that gorgeous space for your lungs to fill, your diaphragm to descend. And then as you exhale, drawing that belly button back in as you begin to trace the breath up through your body and again out through the nose. Beautiful exchange of breath. Maintaining this beautiful depth to your breath, we are going to begin to bring a little bit of movement. So the invitation is to keep your eyes gently closed if that feels good for you in your practice. And with your gaze forward behind closed eyelids, taking a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, keeping your chin at the same height, as you really slowly and gently release your gaze over your left shoulder. So we're activating the right side of the neck, breathing into that lovely stretch and release. Maintaining that gorgeous depth of breath. One last deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, just as slowly, release your gaze back to center. Nice deep inhale in center. And as you exhale, gently releasing your gaze now over your right shoulder. Again, we're just gently activating that left side of the neck, feeling into that beautiful space that you're breathing into life. One more deep inhale here. Again, and then again, use your exhale to gently release your gaze nice and slowly back to center. Beautiful. Nice deep inhale in center. And as you exhale, gently release your chin toward your chest. Keep a little length in the front of your neck, so you're just gently opening up the back of the neck without collapsing the front. Feeling into that gorgeous stretch in the back of your neck. It might even extend into the tops of your shoulders. So keeping those shoulders nice and soft. And on your next inhale, we're just going to gently trace a little semicircle with our nose as we draw the right ear toward the right shoulder. So again, this time sensing into that left side of the neck, breathing into it, keeping those shoulders soft. Another deep inhale. And as you exhale, gently, gently release your chin back towards your chest in center. So just retracing that semicircle line with your nose. On your next inhale, gently tracing your nose now to the semicircle to the left to draw your left ear toward your left shoulder. Again, keeping the shoulders soft really extends that beautiful opening in the right side of the neck. Nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, gently, gently release the chin to chest back in the center. Again, maintaining that length in the front of the neck. On your next inhale, gently lifting the gaze through center, still behind closed eyelids if that feels good. Keeping a little length in the back of your neck now as you extend your chin toward the ceiling, opening up your throat. Nice deep inhale at the top, and as you exhale, gently drawing your gaze back down to center. On your next inhale, scrunch those shoulders super tight up under your ears. And as you exhale, release and soften them down. Take 3 rounds of those. Inhale and scrunch, scrunch, scrunch those shoulders up under your ears. As you exhale, release and soften. Inhale and scrunch them up. Exhale, release and soften. We'll just gently lift the shoulders on the next inhale and roll forward 3 times. And back 3 times. Again, just allowing any of the sitting or sedentary movement that we may have experienced during the day to just beautifully release. Coming back to center. We're maintaining that lovely balance in the pelvis and center. So we take a nice deep inhale. And as we exhale, draw the right hand to the left knee and just gently allow your left hand to land behind you as you just gently twist over to the left. Only as much as is comfortable for you. We are just getting started and warmed up here. Use your breath, allow yourself to soften with the breath. Another deep inhale. And then use your exhale to lovely and gently release back to center. Nice deep inhale in center. And as you exhale, this time drawing your left hand to your right knee and allowing your right hand to land behind you as you gently twist over to the right. And enjoy your breath here. One more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, gently releasing back to center nice and slowly. Taking a gentle wiggle through your fingers and toes. Beginning to move your body a little bit as you gently ease yourself down to laying out on the mat. But first, before you lengthen the legs completely, take that lovely windscreen wipering of the legs with the knees bent to just have that lovely release through the lower body, particularly after we've been sitting in those cross-legged positions. Sometimes that can cause our legs to feel a little bit dead. So just bringing that gorgeous release by the windscreen wipering of the legs. And when it feels comfortable to come to stillness, you can keep the knees bent up and just take the feet at mat width and allow the knees to support each other in center. Or if it's comfortable for you to lay out completely with your body nice and long and just sense into the way your body is supported by the ground beneath you. So take a little scan of your body. Notice first if there's any adjustment for you to make to be most comfortable here. We are really seeking comfort in our practice. It just means that we'll have the space to really engage the breath, to really get the most from these next few minutes that we're going to dedicate to our breath. So when you've found that comfort in stillness, if it's good for you to keep those eyes gently closed, you're most welcome to do that. And just again, begin to become sensitive to your breath, noticing the movement of your breath through your body, the impact that creates. As you inhale, maybe sensing the gentle rise of your belly as you allow those lungs to fill completely. And as you exhale, as you release, allowing that belly button to release back toward the spine, as you soften into your exhale and sense into the release of every last drop of stale air, creating that beautiful space to allow in new energy with each and every round of breath. We're simply seeking the balanced breath here. So for the next couple of minutes, as you inhale, notice the count that gets you the perfect inhale. And it might be different than yesterday, and that's okay. The aim of our practice is to become really sensitive into our bodies so we can read the needs of our bodies exactly. And whatever that count is, just balancing it to your exhale. So if you're inhaling for the count of 3 tonight, you'll exhale for the count of 3 for this next couple of minutes of the practice. The invitation from the next round of breath is to maintain the balanced breath, but if you wish, to integrate a gentle pause at the top of the inhale when your lungs are full, and again at the bottom of the exhale when your lungs are empty. But each of these is just an invitation. It might feel really comfortable for you to pause at the top of the inhale. If it doesn't feel comfortable for you to pause at the bottom of the exhale, don't. Just move into the next cycle that feels good for you. Again, just sensing into exactly what your body, what your practice requires tonight. For the final couple of minutes of our breath practice, the invitation, if you wish, is to extend your exhale. So just exploring your exhale a little bit more, seeing if you can slow it down, activate that beautiful parasympathetic nervous system, bringing you into that gorgeous state of rest. Take 3 more full rounds of this exploration of your exhale, or whichever breath cycle you're following. And after that third round of breath, allowing the conscious engagement of your breath to gently release as you soften back into your just most natural and easeful breath. And like you did at the start, just taking a moment to notice how you're feeling. Notice if there's any change through your body, through your mind, from that simple breath practice, available to you to engage at any time, day or night, wherever you are, to really allow yourself to center and ground and maybe calm, depending what's going on. Keeping your gaze really soft. The invitation is to gently blink open your eyes if you wish. And just begin to bring a little bit of movement to your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet, until it feels perfect to gently extend your arms over your head as you inhale and take a full body stretch, fingertips away, toes toward your face. Exhale and soften. Inhale and extend. Exhale and soften. Inhale and extend. And exhale and soften. We're going to do our banana asana. So this is where we take our lovely side stretch from this laying out position. So we're keeping our pelvis nicely settled and just gently drawing your right foot toward the right corner of your mat and allowing your left foot to come over and either meet it or cross over it. You're keeping your pelvis settled, as I said, and you're gently taking your left wrist with your right hand and just guiding yourself into a banana shape to the right hand side. So try to make sure you keep a little bit of length in the right hand side, but the real stretch here is in the left hand side. You can keep that right shoulder gently pressing into the mat. That should counter activate if there's been any kind of pinching for you. So that kind of engagement of the shoulder, just feel into that length in the left side of the body. Breathe into it. And on your next exhale, gently releasing everything back to center. As you inhale, let's take a full body stretch in center again before we move to the other side. Exhale and soften and release back to the mat. And this time, gently taking your left foot to the bottom left corner of your mat. Again, taking your right foot either over to meet it or across that ankle. And then taking your right wrist in your left hand, just gently guiding the hands over to the top left corner of your mat. And again, just making sure not to collapse through the left side of the body, but we are focusing here on stretching out the right side. Enjoy your breath, breathing into that space that we're creating. Beautiful. On your next exhale, just gently allowing yourself to release everything back to center. And like that, let's take one last full body stretch in center. Fingertips away, toes towards your face. And as you exhale, gently softening back down, allowing your arms to come back down either side of your body. And gently drawing your feet in to have the knees bent, feet flat to the mat. And then gently drawing those knees in towards your chest and allowing that gorgeous release of the low back. So you might choose stillness here, and that can be really gorgeous, right? So like in yoga, like what we're looking for is the most simple and accessible things to give us the most space and comfort. Sorry, I should clarify that. What I'm looking for in yoga and what I'm trying to give to you guys is the most simple tools to create that gorgeous space and comfort in your bodies. So this is one of like the most powerful ones, particularly for any niggles in the low back, which we can often experience in the way that we live our lives. So like literally just the act of like holding your knees in towards your chest and allowing the release of the low back into the ground is really, really restorative for the body and allows everything to kind of just reset and readjust. So it's a really gorgeous one to have in the toolkit. We'll just gently take the knees nice and gently side to side, but staying super sensitive. So we've often practiced this where we just kind of, we start by going like an inch to one side, an inch to the other side. So kind of replicate that, allowing yourself to go a little bit further each time. And just enjoying that gorgeous release. Again, being really sensitive into your body to the way that this is, again, rolling out the low back, giving that gorgeous sense of space into the low back. Let's take a couple of circles with our knees. So maybe about 3 in each direction. You choose the circle size. They can be large circles or small circles. Let's just do 3 in one direction and 3 in the opposite direction, just to make sure we're staying nicely balanced in the practice. And allowing ourselves to come to stillness back in center. Place your left foot to the mat as we take our belts and bring the belts around the ball of the right foot below those toes. Gentle extension of the right leg, keeping that lovely softness in the right knee. Gentle energy into the belt, through the heel. Spread, spread, spread those toes. Allowing your elbows to rest gently on the mat. The shoulders. I'm like, what are those things called? Shoulders to soften into the mat. And if it's comfortable for you, you can extend that left leg flat to the mat, making that full footprint with your left foot so those toes are pointing toward the ceiling. And you're just energetically, so like not physically, like hugging that leg toward midline. That gives us that lovely stability in this pose or in this sequence. So focusing on your breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. Really allowing yourself to soften with each and every round. Again, knowing that you're doing really profound work to release the lower body, to release all the physical stress and tension that we hold in our hips, in our lower bodies. After another round of breath, you might like to just sense in to that right leg. See if you've created any extra space, if that right foot comes even a mini millimeter closer towards you, allowing those shoulders to soften. One last deep breath here. And then gently pass both sides of your belt to your right hand, holding your left hip stable, your left leg stable. Gently release that right leg to the right, only as much as is comfortable while you've got that left hip, that left leg stable. Check in on the principles in your right leg, soft knee, gentle energy to the belt and through the heel. And if it's comfortable, you can extend your left arm from your body if you wish. And again, just focus on your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. One last deep breath here. And then use your next inhale to gently draw that right leg nice and slowly back to center. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Pause and settle in center. And then pass both sides of your belt to your left hand. Again, keeping that left leg stable, so that left leg hasn't budged as we gently draw that right foot just in line with the left shoulder. So just 3 to 4 inches across midline. The right femur is descending. Soft knee, gentle energy into that belt. And if it feels comfortable, you might like to extend your right arm from your body, or you can have it just down by your side, whatever feels really good. And breathe. And gently, gently on your next breath, releasing that right leg nice and slowly back to center, allowing that settling in center before drawing that right knee in towards your chest, holding onto that knee as we take just a couple of breaths here. So again, our left leg hasn't moved, it's still outstretched and awake. We're just breathing in the right side, the base of the spine. And gently begin to introduce ankle circles with that right foot. Again, we'll take about 5 in each direction. And then gently extend that right leg, nice and slowly. And just take a few moments to appreciate that release that you've created, that softening that you've created. Taking all that no longer serves us and creating space for the beautiful things to come. Gently drawing your feet back in, knees bent, keeping the right foot to the floor this time, as you gently draw your left knee in towards the left side of your chest. And again, gently drawing the belt around the ball of the left foot, just below the toes, lengthening through that left leg, nice and softly, that gentle energy in the knee, that soft knee, energy to the belt, energy through the heel, spread those toes, elbows to the mat, if there's space for that. And if all that feels comfortable, you can extend that right foot flat to the mat, making those full footprints with your right foot. Toes toward the ceiling, settling in, breathing into this. Remember to sense into a softening in your shoulders. So like sometimes we can kind of really tense up like holding the belt, but allow that softening. So we're just holding the belt tight enough that it's like just gently taut for us to press our feet into, as opposed to like fighting with it. So looking for that gorgeous balanced place. Breathing deeply into that left lower body now. Gently checking in after your next round of breath to see if you've created any extra space that you'd like to claim in that left leg. If that left foot would like to nudge a little bit closer towards you. And again, breathe into that space. We'll take 2 rounds of breath into that new position. And then we're going to gently pass both sides of our belt into the left hand. Remember that right hip, that right leg is staying super stable as we gently release that left leg to the left only as much as we can while we've maintained that right hip, that right leg stable. Checking in to make sure we still have that lovely softness in the knee. Gentle energy into that belt through the heel. And again, if it's comfortable, you can extend your right arm from your body, or you can just keep it down by your side or resting on your tummy. And just focus in on the breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. One last deep breath here. And then gently draw that left foot nice and slowly back to center with the breath. And take your time here. It's where the power is. Allow that settling in center, then keeping that right leg exactly where it is. Pass those felt into the right hand. And just gently draw your left foot in line with your right shoulder, about 3 to 4 inches across midline. Left femur descending, soft knee. Gentle energy into that belt. And again, if it's comfortable for you to extend that left arm from your body, you're most welcome to do so. And again, focus in on your breath, in through the nose and out through the nose, really mobilizing this release with your breath. One last deep breath here. And then we'll gently draw that left foot nice and slowly back to center. Allow that gorgeous settling in center. And then gently drawing your left knee in toward the left side of your chest, releasing your belt. And holding on to that left knee, keeping that right leg exactly where it is, and just breathing into that left side of the base of the spine. Again, this is another example of the simple and beautiful poses, like taking one knee at a time. So like you could start with both knees in as a little kind of relaxing sequence. You could then draw one knee at a time in. You might take a little twist, This is a gorgeous way to just keep your body balanced and free. Gently beginning to circle that left foot. About 5 times in each direction. And extending that left leg fully. Beautiful. Bending into that gorgeous, gorgeous space that you've created in your body. Beautiful. We're going to take our times and make our way to our hands and knees. So we'll just go nice and slowly. Whatever way feels most comfortable for you. Coming over to one side sometimes feels really good first. And we're going to make our way to our hands and knees. Again, just taking a little space, like a little time to really sense into that gorgeous stacking and alignment. Bringing your hips over your knees, shoulders over elbows over wrists. Allowing ourselves to take that little internal rotation of those forearms so we're not putting too much pressure in the heel of the hand. You can bring the hands forward a little bit if you're finding that there's still a lot of pressure in the heel of your hands. Just sensing into what feels just perfect for you tonight. Again, we're just going to take some lovely cat and dog. You know what? Let's take the insteps in and we'll integrate our child pose at the top of the cat. That can be really, really gorgeous. So as you exhale, draw your chin toward your chest, curl your spine toward the ceiling, draw your belly button toward your spine. And if you'd like to, you can then gently descend your bum towards your heel. So you're kind of coming into a cat child. So you're keeping that lovely curve in the spine. As you inhale, gently draw yourself up back through center and then allow the belly to descend, your heart to open, your gaze to come forward. So moving on your own breath. So you can choose your traditional cat dog or you can do the integration of the child, whatever feels really good for you this evening. For me, the lovely little extra stretch through the low back is just glorious. That's what I'll be doing. Again, it's all about sensing into your own body, your own practice. Each and every time you come to the mat, it'll be different. And that's perfect. That's exactly the way it's meant to be. Through our practice, then we have the tools to give our bodies, to give our minds exactly what we need in any given practice. Taking one last round here. And then allowing yourself, after that last round, to come back to center. Beautiful. We'll gently turn over those toes and allow ourselves to lift the knees up and gently draw. Oh, and gently lose your microphone, sorry. Gently draw up and back into downward facing dog. Just allowing that lovely release, getting that lovely dog tilt into the spine, that beautiful length from the shoulders to the hands, this full body stretch. Walk the dog, bending one knee at a time. I'm going to have to take off this jumper because I feel like it's muffling me. Just walking out your dog. That gives you that extra little stretch into your hamstrings. Beautiful. We're going to gently walk the feet one at a time to come into our first forward fold. So we can take the feet as wide apart as we wish. Little bend into the knees as we allow the spine to release
from the pelvis. Arms hang heavy, head hangs heavy. Enjoy your breath, allowing that gorgeous release. Again, you'll feel that through the backs of the legs, the space you're creating in your spine. We're just going to gently roll up vertebra by vertebra, allowing your head to be the very last thing that stacks when you come to the top, sensing into that lovely space when you've kind of almost come into that automatic Tadasana. So we're going to come to the back of the mat and we're going to be in that Tadasana pose, that mountain pose. Now I'm going to demonstrate the first one of this to you. So we'll come from Tadasana, we'll forward fold, and we're going to walk the hands forward into plank pose. Now I won't be planking, but I'll be coming into down dog, but I'll do the first plank with you guys. So from our Tadasana position, keep that lovely softness in the shoulders so you're connected through the feet. You've got those lovely lines of the legs, that connection of the pelvis, that neutrality of the pelvis, length of the spine, soft shoulders. We'll inhale and we'll draw the arms up. And as we exhale, fold forward. And then gently walk your hands out the mat to come to plank pose and push the floor away. As I said, I'm coming out of the plank pose, but if you can, you're welcome to stay in the plank pose. And we're just looking to build a little bit of extra core strength today as we bring in a little bit of flow with this too. Beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come into down dog. Sit bones toward the sky. Lovely gentle bend in the knees. Send those upper thigh bones back. Lovely soft shoulders. And we'll gently walk the hands back the mat to find ourselves in forward fold. Inhale for half lift. Exhale and fold. Plug those feet, zip those legs, and we're going to inhale and root and rise. And draw those hands down through center. Beautiful. From our Tadasana, just make sure that you've found it again. Sometimes we can kind of lose our alignment. So it's always cool to just check in, right? Like there's never, an expectation that it's going to be perfect each time. Inhale the arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale and walk those hands out the mat to come to plank pose. Enjoy your breath. And this time we're going to bring a little bit of movement into the plank. If you wish, you are also welcome to join me in a down dog. You're also welcome to get into child's pose, whatever feels good for your practice today. If you're going to take a little bit of movement, we're going to draw the right knee to the outside of the right elbow and bring that foot back. Left knee to the outside of the left elbow and draw that foot back. Right knee to the outside of the right elbow, draw back. Left knee to the outside of the left elbow, draw back. One more time, right knee to the outside of the right elbow, draw back. Left knee to the outside of the left elbow, draw back. And gently release back to downward facing dog. You can take a little walk of your dog if that feels good. Any little circles or figure eights with your hips that feel nice. Whatever feels really good for you. And then gently walk those hands back the mat. And again, we're going to find ourselves in forward fold once more. Allow that lovely release of the spine. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plug those feet. Zip those legs as we inhale, root and rise. And bring those hands down through center.
Beautiful. So we're going to do one last set of those. And this time, well, instead of kind of doing the dynamic movement, what we're going to do is come down the mat, come into plank, and come into side plank. So we'll take that nice and slowly together. So coming from our Tadasana, nice soft shoulders, lovely long spine. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward.
Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, and let's walk those hands out the mat. Come to plank pose and gently gravitate onto the left baby toe edge of your left foot. Take your right foot in front of you to give you some stability. And if it's comfortable, you can extend your right hand toward the ceiling in our side plank. If you're super hardcore, that right foot can be on top of the left, taking whatever feels comfortable. Gently draw that right hand back down. Pivot yourself back around to come back to downward facing dog. Enjoy your breath. Take a little, leave your mic again. Take a little movement in your down dog. And this time we're going to come onto the right knife edge of the foot. Again, if you wish to take your left foot in front of you, before I was even pregnant, that's how I liked to side plank. And then extending that left hand toward the ceiling. Enjoy your breath. We're building up a bit of strength, a bit of heat now. And that's going to mean that Shavasana is going to be all the more glorious for it. Gently drawing that left hand back to the mat, pivoting your way back around to downward facing dog. Again, just taking a lovely little bit of movement through those knees, that walk of the dog. And you know what? We're going to take a little pigeon here before we move on. So gently drawing your right knee to the right wrist, allowing that right calf to cross your body, right foot to baby toe edge, and gently draw back that left foot, plugging in that instep. Now, it might feel most comfortable for you to stay nice and high in your pigeon. So you can come up onto tented fingers, sense into that lovely balancing of the pelvis, that descent of the pelvis, extending through the crown of the head. And if you have space and you wish to come into a resting pigeon, on your next exhale, gently folding forward onto your forearms and just allowing that gorgeous release. Again, focusing on that connection of the pelvis. So looking at not kind of tilting that right hip up, seeking out that balance. Beautiful. Enjoy your breath. One last deep breath into that right hip. And then gently, gently allowing yourself to ease back up onto those hands. If you came into resting pigeon, lifting that left foot so that you can bring that right foot back to come back to down dog. Again, taking any little movement that feels really good here. Gosh, losing the mic again. I wonder what's causing that this evening. Maybe too much inversion. And gently drawing your left knee in toward your left wrist for pigeon on the left side. So allowing that left calf to cross the body. The right foot moves back, plug in that instep. Allow that gorgeous balance in the pelvis. We're always seeking that balance in the pelvis in most poses, but particularly in our pigeon pose. Come up onto tented fingers, feel that gorgeous length. So as we kind of press and extend, that we're allowing that pelvis to descend. Feel that extension through the crown of the head.
And again, you can stay high in your pigeon, or if you wish, on your next exhale, fold forward onto your forearms to create that beautiful resting pigeon. That extra little bit of load into your left hip to just give that really beautiful opening to whatever point feels good in your body. So always listening to your own body in your practice. I know I've said this to you before, but I'm not the boss, I'm merely the guide. You are the boss of your practice and sensing into what feels just perfect for you. One last deep breath into that left hip. And we're going to gently draw ourselves up, back to our hands. Turn over the toes of that right foot as we lift up and back to come back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Now we're going to gently draw that right foot in between the hands and pivot that left heel down. So we find ourselves with warrior two legs. Hug those legs toward midline to bring the arms up. So let's check into the alignment of our foundation first. So make sure that those feet are hugging equally. The right heel is dissecting the left instep. We have that lovely length through the base of the spine. And as we inhale, we'll draw the arms up above shoulder height, bring them back to shoulder height, and then bring the gaze over the right middle finger. So we're feeling that beautiful connection from our feet to the crown of the head. So you've got this beautiful downward connection from the pelvis to the feet, connecting your foundations, and then this gorgeous rise of your upper body, that opening up of the heart, that extension of the arms, and that sensation as if you've got a string holding your skull toward the ceiling. Warrior two. Beautiful. On your next inhale, gently drawing your right forearm just above your right knee, right palm of the hand towards the ceiling. Take your left hand in front of you, integrate that head of the arm bone and sweep that left arm over your ear for side angle pose. And enjoy your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. These wide-legged poses are wicked for us forgetting to breathe. But it's a good one to remember, right? And I seem to be losing my microphone again. Bizarre. Plug through those feet, zip up those legs. We inhale, root and rise. Let's square those feet. We'll take a wide-legged forward fold before we go to the other side. So feeling that gorgeous connection through the feet, that lovely softness in the knee. You inhale, the arms up, and as you exhale, fold forward, bringing the hands to wherever they land. So that might be on tented fingers. You might need to have like some books or something to place them on. You might be super open. You might have your hands on the backs of your hands. Just sensing into what feels really good in your body this evening. One last deep breath here, then plug through those feet, zip up those legs as we inhale, root and rise, and bring the hands down through center. Beautiful. Taking your left foot 2 half turns now. We're bending into that left knee. And again, we're starting with the foundations. Check into those feet. Are you equally weighted? Is your left heel dissecting that right instep? Do you have that left knee tracking over that left ankle? The kneecap in line with the second toe, feeling that gorgeous length in your tailbone, that connection of the pelvis. Inhale, raise the arms above shoulder height, draw them to shoulder height, and then bring the gaze over the left middle finger. So we established our foundations, and now we've established the beautiful rise from the center. that strength across the arms, that sensation of the skull being drawn toward the ceiling. Enjoy your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. On your next inhale, gently release your left forearm above your left knee, left palm toward the ceiling. Bring that right hand to your hip, feel that beautiful opening. Draw that right arm in front of you, integrate the head of the arm bone, make that space in your armpit as you gently extend the right arm over the right ear, feeling that gorgeous length down your right side in our side angle pose. Enjoy your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. Plug through those feet, zip up those legs, and on your next inhale, root and rise. Let's square those feet, and we'll take another little forward fold before we move back down to the mat. Inhale the arms up, and as you exhale, fold forward. Allow yourself to really luxuriate in this fold, allowing that beautiful release of your spine. Again, your head hangs heavy, your arms can hang heavy into the ground beneath you. Enjoy your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. One last deep breath here. Plug through those feet, zip up those legs as we inhale, root and rise. And bring your hands down through center. Heel toe those feet back into center. Find yourself nice and comfortably in center. And we're going to come back down to the mat. It kind of feels mental that we're here already, but we are. So back down to the mat. And we're going to take a nice diamond forward fold for ourselves. So coming to staff pose, so that lovely connection through the sit bones. Give yourself any of that physical manipulation to make yourself as deeply connected as possible. Then we're going to draw the feet, the soles of the feet together with our feet as far away from our bums as they can be while the soles are together. So we're creating that gorgeous diamond shape, that lovely connection through the sit bones. Feel that lovely softening of your shoulders. Inhale the arms up, keeping those shoulders soft. And as you exhale, fold forward, allowing your hands to meet wherever they do, right? Like, so we're not load bearing in this. So like if your hands are on your knees, like that's totally cool. Like where we would use the instruction to not place any weight into the hands is when we're doing like something like triangle and stuff like that, where you don't have the support of the ground. But in our triangle or seated forward fold, we don't have the same restriction. Enjoy your breath. Again, sense into that gorgeous release of the low back. Plug through those feet. Plug through those sit bones as we inhale, root and rise. Bring the hands down through center. Beautiful. Making your way down to lying out on the mat. Make sure you have whatever kind of blanket or whatever you need for Shavasana close to hand. We're on the way there. We're just going to take our bridge pose and then a twist, and then that is it. So allowing ourselves to, again, establish the pose. So like developing the foundations is where the power is in this practice, right? Like, so we're making ourselves enjoy the benefits of the most healthful practice possible when we really tap into our bodies and make sure that we have all of these foundations correct before we move into the poses. So taking Your feet slightly wider than hip width apart so that when you look down either side, you can see about half of your heel. Drawing your upper arms, the backs of the shoulders, back of the head into the mat. Most importantly, plugging through those feet as you inhale and lift those hips toward the ceiling. And just focus in on your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. That gorgeous plugging through the feet, protecting your low back here. This is a beautiful pose for you to explore your breath into your back body. So again, seeing if you can get a little bit of movement into those intercostal spaces of the back ribs. As you breathe deeply here, opening your heart, opening up those lungs, building strength. One last deep inhale here. And as you exhale, gently release vertebra by vertebra to the mat and sense into that gorgeous feeling of support when you make it to the floor. So just gently walk your feet to mat width apart. And we're going to just allow both knees release over to the right. We'll bring the gaze over the left shoulder. If it's comfortable for you, you can extend your arms out from your body or bring them to cactus arms. You just sense into what's perfect for you. Focusing in on your breath, allowing the breath to begin to slow. We're on our way to Shavasana, to the deep integration of our practice. On your next inhale, gently drawing the knees back to center, the gaze back to center, allowing yourself to settle in center, and then gently releasing both knees to the left as you gaze over to the right. Again, your arms can be in whatever positioning feels good for you. Last round of breath here. And then gently inhale those knees back to center, the gaze back to center. Allow yourself that beautiful time to settle back in center. And then making your way to Shavasana. So taking whatever blankets or, in my case, cozy socks that you need. We're coming back to the mat, allowing yourself to lay out, make yourself super comfy, sense into your body, sense into how your body is supported by the ground beneath you. Like you did in the beginning, just take a little scan of your body and notice what adjustments are going to make you the most comfortable you can be. Allowing yourself to really deeply embrace this most important time of integration. Gently beginning to draw your awareness more deeply to your exhale, to that soft release of breath. And with each round of breath, with each extension of your exhale, allowing yourself to soften, to release, to relax, to embrace the space that you have created in your body, in your mind, in your heart from this practice, and welcoming the benefits that you are going to bring forward into all of your movements, to your thoughts, to your breath. For the next few minutes, just gently rotate your awareness around your body, beginning with your right foot and journeying through your entire right leg as you soften, release, relax. To your left foot and journeying through your entire left leg now. Soften, release, relax. To your pelvis, deeply supported by the ground beneath you. Soften, release, relax. Through the muscles of your entire torso, all the way up to the tops of your shoulders. Soften, release, relax. Melt into your mat. Your right shoulder, journey through your entire right arm to the tips of your fingers. Soften, release, relax. To your left hand, and journeying through your entire left arm to the top of your shoulder. Soften, release, relax. The muscles of your neck, across your jaw, your tongue. Soften, release, relax. Muscles around your mouth, around your eyes, your forehead, your scalp. Every last muscle of your body now. Soften, release, relax. Melt into your mat, knowing that all that's left for you to do is enjoy this feeling. with deepening breath, introducing a little movement to your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet, until it feels perfect to roll over to your right, using your hands as a pillow. Pausing here for a nice deep breath. And when it feels right, keeping your eyes gently closed as you ease yourself back to a seated position on your mat. Drawing your hands together in front of your heart, bowing your head to your own heart, each other's hearts, and the eternal heart. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. Namaste.